Hello and welcome to another episode of Hessy and Maven. I'm Justin.
I'm Raven.
And guys, it's Halloween.
And I'm a watermelon.
It's okay. Raven. Raven has makeup, if you're only listening on the podcast and not on our YouTube or TikTok or anything like that. Raven has watermelon makeup on, and I am Ted Lasso. Howdy, y'all.
Is he Southern?
He is Southern.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kate, be a little freaking louder.
Don't be mean to her.
She slams doors.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, so just like we said last week, we're treating October like Halloween month. We're doing it.
It's Halloween month.
It's Halloween month. So we decorated very slightly.
There's a small pumpkin next to the small birds.
Small spider compared to the big spider. My favorite little stuffed animal pumpkin in the universe.
He has the cute face.
He is like the one, you know, every time there's a holiday and like we break out all of the decorations, is there like, for each holiday, is there like one decoration that you're very much like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
This is my Halloween/fall one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one I
wonder where he's from.
I low-key forget about him.
Yeah.
And then
you see
it
his
happens
face.
and I'm like, oh, yes,
Yeah.
I love him. What's up, bud? But anyway. Sorry, I had to darken my mustache, so I used contour.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't grow. So when I was in, this was an easy costume for me to do because I already own these clothes and I have facial hair. So I just shaved everything except for the mustache.
Yeah.
But my mustache is pretty thin.
Mm.
You would see it, but number one, it's not very thick.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Ted Lasso's has quite a good mustache. Mm-hmm. Jason Sudeikis really knows how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, when I was living in Maryland and I was a salesperson at a fancy gym, they sent me away to do a training somewhere else. The night before the big final exam, if you will, I decided to shave. And I didn't have a razor with me. So I asked the hotel for one and they gave me a free one. And it was like one of the cheapest, like something people probably use in prison. Like the cheapest possible thing. And did you do that? You bastard. And so what had happened was I was shaving and on the very first stroke, right down the center underneath my nose, what is this little trough called? What's the snot trough called? You know what I'm talking about? The divot?
Yeah.
What is it called?
I don't know.
The dimple. I was shaving my dimple and immediately cut myself pretty bad to where I was like bleeding everywhere and reached out to the like supervisor person who's like been teaching us this whole time and was like, hey, so I know you said that we need to be like groomed and like clean shaven, and because it's like a very fancy gym, so it's like, oh God, you know, you can't, God forbid you have like 5 o'clock shadow or something. You have to either be clean shaven or have like groomed facial hair. And at the time I could barely grow facial hair as it was. I still barely can. So I cut that part of right in the middle. So it's kind of like a reverse Adolf going on where that's the only place I can't grow hair. So I don't grow hair in the middle at all. This is all contour.
You have a
Yeah.
I know.
Find the words.
It's like a is that a porn stash? Where they have the
You know, is it a porn stash? Oh, I see what you're saying. A little bit, but I think even then I don't know. It's been a long time since I've Googled mustaches. So I don't really know. But anyway, so this whole month, Halloween, spoopy, fall, autumn, we're going heavy into it.
Yes.
So every episode this month, there's going to be 5 total. This is the first one. They're all going to be in some way, shape, or form Halloween vibe, you know?
Also, October 1st is Tony's birthday, so happy birthday, Tony.
Happy birthday, Tony.
We love you.
Love you. And October 31st is my birthday. So,
and October 26th is Mommy's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday to both of you.
Happy birthday to both of us. Birthday months.
Birthday month.
So, without further ado, this week's specific Halloween episode, we're going to be talking about our top 3 favorite Halloween movies. Now, you might ask yourself, but what's a Halloween movie? Does it have to feature Halloween? Is it all about Halloween? Is it all about trick-or-treating or whatever? Or is it the vibe of Halloween?
Whatever. Yeah.
What is the deal, right? And I think that's an interesting question. And we talked about it for a little bit when we were making our list. You know, what criteria does a movie need to have in order to be a quote-unquote Halloween movie?
And in my opinion, it's a movie you put on around Halloween time to give you the Halloween vibes.
And that's what we went with.
Yeah.
So it's as simple as that. Does every one of our 6, between the 3 of us, 3 and 3, assuming we have no overlaps, we might have, there's one in particular, on mine at least, that I think might overlap, but who knows? Anyway. Raven, silence your phone. How dare you? Okay.
I'm so sorry.
What was I gonna say? Totally threw me off. Oh man. So not every single one of our movies might have like Halloween explicitly be the theme of the
like Halloween Town as an example. It might not be that.
Yeah. Never seen that movie.
Me either. And low-key,
it's gonna infuriate a lot of people.
I feel
people
like
love that movie.
The problem is I wasn't a Disney Channel kid. I was a Nickelodeon kid, so I didn't see any of the Disney Channel like holiday specials or Disney Channel original movies. But Halloween Town feels like something I would have loved if I saw it back in the day. So sometimes I feel like if I would just sit down and watch it, I'd probably like it.
I agree. I especially think that if I had watched it back when it came out and I was younger, I would really love it.
I also feel that way about Casper. I've never seen Casper.
Oh, really? I've seen the first Casper.
I think if I sat down and watched that, I would probably really like it too.
I think you would too. So yeah, those are 2 good runner-ups. I'm curious to see if people are like, you have never seen Halloween Town?
I know.
People love it.
People feel that way when I talk about High School Musical.
Oh,
because I've never seen that either.
Same. I mean,
people go crazy.
Same. That was one of my pop culture hot takes, was that I don't think that movie is good.
Yeah. I've just never seen
I
it.
think that it's like genuinely bad.
Also, my high school boyfriend told me one time that his dream girl was Vanessa Hudgens, and it made me hate her forever.
Oh, so. You were jealous? You were like...
Yeah, it's the reason that Sal Vulcano,
yes,
his high school girlfriend, cheated on him with an older guy, and they went to go see Sleepless in Seattle in the theaters. And to this day, Sal has not seen Sleepless in Seattle, and he won't watch it out of spite.
Oh, that's silly. After a certain amount of time, it's silly. Like, do you still hate Vanessa Hudgens?
I don't like her.
Really?
Yeah.
Still? Even though it's which high school boyfriend? Because if it's String Bean.
That's my only high school boyfriend.
Raven, you need to get over that and let Vanessa Hudgens into your heart.
I have no room for her in my heart.
You have to.
I have room for Ashley Tisdale.
Room. Ashley Tisdale needs no room because where is she? She's a ghost.
She's in my heart. Not with Vanessa Hudgens.
Kick her the fuck out. Put Vanessa Hudgens in. Oh my gosh. I love Vanessa Hudgens. Especially since watching Tick Tick Boom.
Oh
my god, with Andrew Garfield and Vanessa Hudgens.
I also don't like Andrew Garfield.
They sing that song where they sit next to each other and they're like, oh god, I can't think of how the song goes, but it's like, oh no, now I can't think of it. That's gonna drive me nuts. I'm gonna look that up as I continue talking.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be multitasking.
You tell me when you're ready, because I do like the trivia I have, and I would like to ask you questions.
I really, really want you to do the trivia. Okay. So first things first is there are a couple of things I wanted to bring up, and then Raven's gonna get into some Halloween trivia, and then we're gonna get into our top 3.
Yeah.
Now.
And we did 3 because there is a lot of, like, a good amount of Halloween movies, but I felt like if we did 5, there would have been too much. There definitely would have been overlap. And it's like not as fun when I'm like, oh, my number 3 is Casper. And then Jesse is like, oh, my number 1 is Casper. The same as what you just said. And then there's not that much to say. So I felt like 3 was more appropriate.
Yeah, plus it's hard because it's like it started getting to a point with my list. I had like 10. What I always do for these like lists is I write down like as many as I want and then I cut it down.
Yeah.
And so I had like 8 or 9 and then it really got to a point where I was like, I'm like looking at them and I'm like, this fully fits the criteria that we're going for.
Yeah.
But there's never been a Halloween that I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this.
I know.
So as soon as you made that the criteria, I was like, okay, no, none of these make it. But anyway, so the song I was thinking of is the song where they are sitting next to each other and they go, I feel bad that you feel bad about me feeling bad about you feeling bad.
Oh my God. Wow.
You don't know that? Of course you don't. Why would you know that?
No, why
song?
would I know that?
It's such a good movie.
I hate Vanessa Hudgens and I've never seen Tick Tick Boom.
Anyway, in November, when we get to make each other watch a movie again, guess what Raven's going to watch? No, I'm kidding. Maybe, but probably not, because I'm going to have her watch the other movie I was going to have her do last time before I made her watch Bullet Train. But she loved it. Anyway, okay. So, I have 2 pieces of news.
Okay.
Number 1. I recently saw, I have to share this with the world. I recently saw a news article about a woman who killed her boyfriend while they were, I believe, on meth or something like that.
Oh.
Crack. And her last name is just so funny that I have to bring it up. It's a sad story because it's just so sad. And the mom is the one who found his like decapitated head. Anyway, that's not what this is about. You can Google it because her last name is, get ready for this, Shabusiness.
Shabusiness.
Taylor.
It's like Taylor Shabusiness or something.
Convicted for murder. Unreal.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. That's a rough last name.
That is a crazy last name.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that. Wow.
Hearing that last name gave me the same feeling of when I first learned about the actress named Busy Phillips.
Oh yeah. Busy Phillips.
Like what are we doing?
Yeah, I haven't seen Busy Phillips in a lot of things. I know that she still does work and stuff. Yeah. But
I think she's a big Hallmark movie girl.
You think so?
I think she's been in a few.
It's very possible. I have no idea. The one thing I remember seeing her in is Freaks and Geeks.
Oh.
Yeah. She was a little bit of she was in the Outcast crew with like James Franco and Seth Rogen and them. But then she was also kind of like the bitchy girl a little.
Yeah. Like, I would not want the name Busy.
She's kind of like the mean girl of the Outcasts. No, Busy is a weird first name.
Busy Shabusiness.
Whoa. Wild. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. Yeah. The name Shabusiness was just too funny not to mention. And then finally, I'm going to bring up, this is a news article that came out earlier in September by Vulture, the media company. It's called The Decomposition of Rotten Tomatoes. And it is by Lane Brown with reporting by Luke Winkie, another wild last name. And it just has to do with Rotten Tomatoes, the website, the movie critic, right? Everyone's heard of that. Oh, this has a Rotten Tomatoes score of blank, blank, blank. Now, a lot of movie critics and a lot of like, just people in general, you don't have to be like a movie content creator like we are. Also, shout out to Stoobs for bringing this up. That's her fucking TikTok name or whatever. But she was the one who brought this to my attention, at least. So a lot of people have like issues with Rotten Tomatoes for one reason or another, and a lot of it has to do with just the general idea of taking a movie and all of the multifacets and the nuances and just boiling it down to a score. And just that in and of itself isn't good for the art of filmmaking. That is a great argument. I love it. I'm all for it. That's not even what this article is about. It's not just about why giving it a 1 number score is bad. This is about how independent like PR agencies and stuff like that will pay Rotten Tomatoes critics like movie critics and stuff like that who have Rotten Tomatoes accreditation, they'll get money from PR companies to either give good reviews, or if they have a bad review, they just will pay them to not review it. So the numbers are totally, even if you like the numbers potentially aren't even fucking real. So it just like destroys the whole thing. So I thought that was really interesting because, of course, since we've made the jump to be more about movies and television, I've been like, oh, I guess maybe I'll start saying what the Rotten Tomato score is. And then I saw that article and I was like, never mind. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really surprise me. I feel like that probably is in everything a little bit.
It's only the reason it's a big deal for Rotten Tomatoes is because they make it a point saying that doesn't happen here.
Oh.
And yes, it does.
Oh.
So it was like investigative journalism that found that out. That's the only reason it's important.
Yeah.
So people,
I just never consider critic scores. Like people talk to me about movies and they're like, I want to see it, but like all the critics said it was bad, and I'm like, I never consider that just because like my taste I like trash movies, so it's like,
yeah,
critics might hate it, doesn't mean I'll hate it.
Exactly. And like at the end of the day, whether or not you like a movie is purely subjective.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't need to like. Not every movie needs like this film theory lens to be looked through. Not every movie needs to be super deep. Some of them can just be entertainment, and honestly, that's okay.
In my opinion, it's like if I were to go on the interweb and review mayonnaise sandwiches, I would say that they get a 0 out of 10 and they're disgusting and no one should ever eat them. But you love mayonnaise sandwiches, so...
How dare you bring up mayonnaise sandwiches? No one needs to know that I eat mayonnaise sandwiches, and it's something that I've only done when there's nothing in the house, or I'm poor and I can't afford anything else. How dare you?
To be fair, have heard from multiple people in my life that they eat mayonnaise sandwiches. Like a lot of my coworkers eat mayonnaise sandwiches, and when they told me that, it like blew my flippin' mind. Yeah.
There you go.
But you get my point. Is that like, I could review something that I hate and say that it's terrible.
And the idea, of course, is that like you get so many reviews that it averages out. But nonetheless, like with the way the internet is these days,
I know.
How many bots are making reviews?
Also, how many people are giving Twilight a good review?
And how many people
0 probably,
are like...
But I love it.
You had like... there have been all kinds of like campaigns. Like the Barbie movie came out and like right-wing nut jobs were like going out in force giving it bad reviews even without ever having seen it.
Yeah.
Just because they heard that it was like, oh, feminist?
Yeah.
What? They say mean things about men?
Yeah.
And the patriarchy? And horses, maybe?
What is this accent you're bringing out?
This is how I talk.
It's how Republicans talk?
Yeah. Like these, like weak, insecure people. No. Okay, yeah. Those are the things I wanted to talk about. Let's get into some trivia, baby.
Okay. Are you ready? This is not Halloween movie specific. It's just Halloween for the introduction of the spooky month.
Yep. We'll get into that next time.
Okay. Ready?
Bring it on. Come on.
Okay. What was the most popular Halloween costume for kids in 2021?
Oh, what a specific year, Raven.
Elsa.
What was going on 2 years ago? Okay.
Elsa from Frozen.
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Or a ghost.
Or a ghost. That's crazy. That's crazy. Or a ghost. Those are the 3 options. Okay.
Bum, 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 bum.
Bum, 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 bum. I'm going to say... Oh, 2021. What was going on? When did Frozen 2 come out? When did Spider-Man Miles Morales come out?
I don't know.
I'm going to say... Because I don't think it's a ghost. That's crazy that a ghost beats all popular culture things. I'm going to say Elsa.
Final answer?
Final answer?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man! No! Peter Spider-Man.
It was Spider-Man.
Oh,
crazy.
Wow. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. I don't think I've ever been Spider-Man for
Me either.
Halloween. I've
We'd
only
beat the odds.
been. I don't think I've ever been a superhero. Actually,
Me either.
more specifically, I've been a Power Ranger. I was the Red Ranger multiple years in a row.
Yeah.
Multiple years.
I remember being a poodle skirt girl, 50s girl.
Yep.
When mommy had a tan leather trench coat and she brought me out into the development.
Oh my God, I
with her
remember
tan
that
leather trench
freaking
coat.
trench coat. I remember that trench coat, Raven. Oh my gosh.
I remember
Dude.
the smell of the trench coat. Like, it just smelled like that store in the mall that only has leather goods.
Remember Dad's duster jacket?
Yes.
Oh my God.
They could have been cowboys together.
He's gonna text us the second he hears this.
Yes, we remember the
Don't you
jacket
dare make fun of my
daddy.
duster jacket. I still have it. I hope he does.
Okay, ready?
All right, ready for question number 2.
Which type of candy is the most popular in the USA during Halloween? So this is not year specific. I guess it's just the most popular.
No, I know. I'm already thinking.
M&M's, Reese's, or Snickers.
Oh, okay. In my head, before you even said the options, I was thinking Snickers and Reese's. Now, for me, it's hard. I used to always say Reese's.
Mm-hmm.
And let me be really specific. It's Reese's because
Okay.
that's what rhymes with pieces.
Mhm.
It's not Reese's because pieces isn't a freaking word. That is such a weird pet peeve of mine. I genuinely hate it when people say Reese's Pieces. And I'm like, what? You're forcing this weird rhyme. That's not how that works. But I'm going to say Snickers.
Final answer?
Final answer, Snickers.
Reese's.
Damn it. God damn it. I just talked all this game. Oh, deflated. Okay.
Very funny. Okay.
All right. Give me another question. Jeez.
Next question. In the 1966 classic, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, which character explains the tale of the Great Pumpkin? Snoopy, Linus, or Schroeder?
Okay. Interesting. This one feels a little easy. I don't think, here's my rationale. I don't think Snoopy or Schrodinger's bird. What is
Schroeder?
Schroeder is the bird, I think. I don't think either of them talk. So I'm going to say Linus? Shut up, dude. It's been so long since I've seen any Charlie Brown stuff because you always let me down. Yeah, I'm going to say Linus.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Linus is the correct answer.
1 out of 3.
Good job.
Gang.
I did not know that Schroeder was the bird. I thought Schroeder was
The piano player?
the piano player.
Oh, boy. Oh, he absolutely is the piano player.
Okay.
Who the fuck am I thinking? What the hell's the bird's name?
I don't know. Even though I love every Charlie Brown special, I don't know what the bird's name is.
Woodstock.
Woodstock.
Damn it.
Aw.
Wow, so I got that one right for the wrong reasons. Even though I did think that it was Linus, because I think I remember Linus doing that in a couple episodes.
Cute.
There are episodes. There's a couple movies where like they have to explain something, and it's like Linus who like walks forward with his blankie and is like,
oh my god, his blankie.
yeah, he's like, and then the Israelites light the candle, and they burned for 8 days, and that's why we have Hanukkah. And you're like, oh wow, okay.
Linus and Pigpen are two different characters, right?
1,000,000%.
Or are they the same? Pigpen
Nope.
is the one with the dust cloud.
Yep.
Yeah. I like him. Okay, I have 2 more questions.
Let's do only one more question. That way we can get into it because we're already at 24. I know. I'm sorry.
Why are you ruining my life?
Because your dog is ruining my life.
Okay, then I'm going to give you a question you definitely won't know.
Bring it on. Come on.
Okay.
I'm going to get it right, though.
What was the name of the lobster that was picked from the tank in Hocus Pocus? Jimmy, Angelo, or Michael? Bum, bum,
Here's
bum,
how I know that I have the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that game. Which one of these is not like the others?
Mm-hmm.
Angelo. Final answer.
That is the right answer.
Hell yeah, dog.
I still hate you, but
Hell yeah, dog.
that was the correct answer.
I freaking knew it. I freaking knew it.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally, that was the only reason I got that right, is because it was Jimmy, Angelo, and Carl or something, some other really
memory
normal
is not good.
name. I'm ignoring that. I don't want to talk about it. And then Angelo stands out. So I was just like, why would they put a weird name in there?
There were 4 options to all those questions. The option I didn't give you was Fala.
Oh, should have done that one. Anyway, let's get into it.
Okay.
Let's get into it. And at the end, we can give some, if we have time, we can give some honorable mentions. Because I have 8 honorable mentions. I had 11 on my total list. Okay. Let's get right into it.
Okay.
We're going to roll like normal. This is a gift that you gave me. Rooster Dice.
Do you appreciate this gift?
I love it. I use it all the time.
I gave a gift to my 18.
11. You go first.
To my pharmacist, substitute pharmacist that I really like. His name is Paul. I drew on a bank envelope a bunch of animals from memory that you can find in Africa.
That's a great gift.
And I gave it to him.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that.
I said, "Do you love it?" And he said, "Yes." Okay.
Very good. I like that a lot.
Ready?
I am fully ready.
Okay. My number 3 Halloween movie is The Corpse Bride.
I knew this was going to make your list.
I love The Corpse Bride. It's so emotional and sweet and cute and cozy. Excuse me. It gives the same energy as Nightmare Before Christmas because it's Tim Burton. I could not remember his name. It's so cute. It's just about, I can't remember any of the characters' names. It's just about the main guy. Should I have the plot?
You could do a little synopsis. Do you know what year it came out? Did you do any research? Have you ever seen the movie, Raven? Jesus Christ. This is just like Mothra, where you're like,
2005.
I've never seen Mothra a day in my life, but when I Googled monsters, I fell in love. So she's my top 2. And you're like, what?
I have seen The Corpse Bride a bunch of times. Okay, it came out in 2005. It's an hour and 17 minutes long. It has an IMDb rating of 7.3 out of 10. The plot is when a shy groom practices his wedding vows in the inadvertent presence of a deceased young woman, she rises from the grave, assuming he has married her. And it's super cute. The main character's name is Victor Van Dort. Then the woman he's supposed to marry is Victoria Everglot.
Everglot.
Yep.
Those are good names for this like vibe.
Yeah. It's very good. There are other names things. There are other names like Barkus Bittern, Maudeline Everglot, Elder Gutknecht.
Lorleen.
Not Lorleen. And then the Corpse Bride's name is Emily. And it's just so cute because you really feel for Emily and she just like wants to be in love. And Victor at the end does kind of like get to a point where he's like, you know what? She's super sweet. Like, why not just go to the city of the dead and fucking marry her and it won't be that bad. Like, we'll have a good time. And then it gets ruined and then he goes with the living girl, which is like kind of a bummer. But there's good songs. There's a talking worm and a talking spider and there's skeletons dancing and...
Yeah, because you already mentioned it, but there's like a whole, like, where the dead live. Like
the
underworld.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, where the dead are. There's a part where the dead, like, are walking amongst the living and a dead, husband, like, meets up with his still living wife and she says something to him and he says, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn." And then kisses her, and I think it's really cute. But I did want to just bring up some fun facts.
That is, by the way, in case you didn't know, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's a classic line from Gone with the Wind.
Yes, I knew it was from like an older movie.
Yeah, same. I couldn't think of what because, hey, spoilers, never seen Gone with the Wind.
Oh, me either. Corpse Bride had a 55-week shoot and included 109,440 individually animated frames that were set up and filmed.
Jeez.
The puppets were, and it's puppets too, which like always blows my mind.
Oh yeah,
Movies are like that.
The animation is nuts.
The puppets were 25 to 28 centimeters tall, which is 9.8 to 11 inches. And some of the stages were so large that animators could actually fit through the set doors with minimal crouching.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So cool.
The puppets used neither of the industry standards of replaceable heads, like those that were used on Nightmare Before Christmas, or replaceable mouths, like on Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit, but instead used precision-crafted clockwork heads adjusted by hidden keys.
Clockwork heads?
It says, this allowed for unprecedented subtlety, but was apparently even more painstaking than the already notorious arduous animation. Jesus. What big words. One animator even reported having recurring nightmares of adjusting his own facial expressions in this fashion.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
God.
Yeah, so Corpse Bride.
That's how you know you're working
vibes.
too. Once you start dreaming about your work,
which I do all the time, by the way.
Out of there.
Yeah.
Alleviate yourself of that shit. That's amazing. Corpse Bride is good.
It's so good.
My favorite, there's a really specific piano song that I freaking love in that movie.
Yep.
It's so beautiful. It's just the melody is so nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's so good.
I knew that was going to make your list.
It's such a good movie.
All right. My number 3 is the most Halloween-y, that just in the Halloween of it just punches you in the face.
Okay.
My number 3 is Hocus Pocus. 1993.
It's an absolute classic.
I had to do it because you know what? I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. It fits the vibe of, this is a movie that I put on around Halloween time to feel Halloween-y vibes. That's this, you know? It's all about that. Technically, I mean, All Hallows Eve or whatever the witches call it. But anyway, so this is a 1993 movie. 300 years have passed since the Sanderson sisters were executed for practicing dark witchcraft, returning to life thanks to a combination of a spell broken by their... Wait, what? I totally changed the words. Returning to life thanks to a combination of a spell spoken before their demise and the accidental actions of Max, the new kid in town. The sisters have one night to secure their continuing existence.
Cute.
So, yeah, it's very fun. It's very cute. It has everything you want from a Halloween sort of movie. It's got Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy.
Apart from that third one, I love those actresses.
Yeah, same. Bette Midler's fun. Sarah Jessica Parker, incredible. Kathy Najimy.
You're good at Hocus Pocus.
Fun. She's also in Sister Act.
Oh, sorry, Tony. I haven't seen it still.
But then Max is played by one of the most interesting first names you'll ever hear, Omri. Omri.
Oh.
Wild. Omri Katz. It plays Max, and then other people play the other roles. We don't need to get into every single person. But suffice it to say...
He's so stupid
another
in that movie.
really
it's
quick
so funny.
thing, just because it's so prevalent in our lives. NCIS.
Yeah.
Mom fucking loves it.
Yeah.
You know the kind of nerdy guy who always argues with Denozo? I can't think of his name right now.
Yes.
McGee.
Yeah.
He plays young Thackeray Binks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Sean Murray.
Crazy.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
I love Thackeray Binks.
Yeah, I just thought that was nuts. I thought that was so crazy. I was like, what? He's in that.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, this just has Halloween written all over it.
It does.
I mean, it's Halloween in the movie. It's it's obviously about witches and witchcraft and spells. It's very funny. It still like holds up to this day, with the one exception of like the obsession of virgins in the whole thing, which is crazy.
I am definitely going to watch Hocus Pocus on my next day off.
That's what I mean. Like
it's October. It's gonna be October now, so I have to watch it. I have to put it on.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's so good. Also, we talked about on the Monsters episode, I believe, Doug Jones, the guy who plays the Faun and the Pale Man in Pan's Labyrinth. And Abe Sapien in Hellboy. He plays Billy Butcherson.
Yes.
The zombie.
He looks like the zombie.
He said that when they made the second one, which I've not seen.
Me either.
I know that ratings-wise, we just talked about how ratings don't really matter. I know ratings-wise, it did not do well.
Yeah.
Like, people did not like it.
Remakes are so hard.
Remakes are really hard.
You have so much to... It's like you have such big shoes to fill. Like
Exactly. And I just remember watching this movie and always thinking Sarah Jessica Parker looked so hot.
She did. She was so pretty in this movie.
And also, I mean, she's wearing pretty heavy makeup.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. Because I know you think Sarah Jessica Parker is like gorgeous.
Yeah, I do.
And I think she's very attractive. But I wouldn't like be like, oh my, she's so gorgeous. Like, I think she's very attractive. Totally fine. In that movie,
it's different.
Stunning. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the makeup or if it's like the kind of crazy,
and it's the hair,
quirky
she's got, like,
outfit. Her
long,
hair
pretty
great.
hair.
Oh, yeah, very fun. It was just a great movie. I really love it when they meet the old man who's dressed up like the devil and they think that it's the devil.
It's the actual devil.
That's
and they're
really
calling him
funny.
Master.
Yes.
Yeah. And the wife is like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah.
That's really funny. I like that a lot. But yeah, that's my number 3.
Very good. I saw a TikTok recently of the actor, the two bullies who bully Max.
Yeah.
They remind me of Jay and Silent Bob. Like one has like a weird hat, and the other there's like a chubby one and a thin one.
Every set of bullies is like that.
Yeah, the chubby one who has like a big blockhead.
Yep.
That actor, it was like his wife filming him, and he was like in front of the TV, and they had Hocus Pocus on with the scene of them, and he's like looking at her, like replaying the scene, like word for word. And it was really cute. I was like, oh my God. Cute. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus is great.
When you said the bullies, there's a skinny one and a bigger one. It made me think of the first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh.
There are two. There's like a big one and a skinny one. And they're like kind of the bullies. They're not so much bullies as they are just like hecklers.
Yeah.
Like just always bullshit in the Power Rangers until the movie, and they're in the movie too, but then they end up saving the day in the movie a little bit. It's really cool. They against Ivan Ooze.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's such a good fucking movie. It's so bad that it's good. That's another one. The Power Rangers movie. Have you ever seen it? That's the one where one of the Power Rangers becomes like the spirit of the frog, and he's like,
oh, I don't.
She's like,
I definitely haven't seen this.
You Red Ranger, the strength of the mighty ape, and you, Black Ranger, the frog. And he's like, I'm a frog. It's
that
so
would be me.
Funny. Anyway,
I haven't seen it, but very good.
Excellent all right, choice. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Paranorman.
Really?
I freaking love this movie. Have you ever seen it?
No way. No, I have not seen it.
Oh, it's so good.
I've seen clips.
It's
so, like,
so
I'm
good.
Familiar, and I know that it has. At the time, when did it come out?
2012.
2012. Pretty progressive for the time. Unfortunately, 2012 sounds like not that long ago, but trust me, it was pretty progressive at the time for in a kids movie to have a character be gay and it not be like a big deal.
Oh yeah.
Because there's like the big guy, the jock guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, to feature a gay character in a kids movie that defies stereotypes.
Yes.
Like it's not like the character where you're just like, oh, that guy's gay.
Yeah.
Because he's so flamboyant and feminine and da-da-da-da. It's like, no, it's the football player.
When this movie came out,
like that.
I think it came out at a similar time to the movie Frankenweenie.
Mm.
And this is everything I wanted Frankenweenie to be. I wanted to love Frankenweenie and have it be like my new favorite animated Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Did not love it. Then I watched Paranorman and loved it. The rewatchability is through the roof. This is the plot.
That's crazy. I never knew you even liked this movie.
Oh my God, I love this movie.
Wow.
Young Norman has the ability to speak with the dead, and he often prefers their company to that of the living. Norman receives word from his strange uncle Prendergast, played by John Goodman, that a centuries-old witch's curse on their town is real and about to come true, and that only Norman can stop it. When zombies rise from their graves, Norman must summon all his courage and compassion and push his paranormal abilities to the limit to save his fellow townspeople. It's funny. It's cute. It's Halloween-y. There's witches.
What more can you ask for?
Ghosts. Zombies. A little kid named Norman. And he's got a best friend who's like...
A meatball?
Shaped like a meatball.
Very good. Shaped like a meatball.
He's so cute.
I love that.
I think he's Alvin. I think his name is Alvin.
Okay.
While
you look that up, let me just say this. I love that for you. I've never seen Paranorman. That's a meatball. That's a spicy meatball.
And he's
right
really
there.
cute through the whole movie. So it's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it so much. We should watch it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm down. I've been watching a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
That was another thing I was going to talk about, is how I saw a bunch of movies.
Did you
recently.
pause Baldur's Gate for some movie time?
I did. I did.
Yeah.
I also paused Baldur's Gate because it was getting unhealthy how much time I was spending with it. And I was like, I don't need to spend this much time playing a video game. So let me take a back seat and kind of chill for a little bit. You know what it really is? I also really need the game to get crossplay.
Yeah.
So that because all of my friends who have it, they have it on computer.
Yeah.
So I still can't play with anybody. And like, I don't like playing with strangers or something like that. Like, I want to play with friends.
When we're done with this, can I make a character?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Continue.
So
that was my number 2, Paranorman. It's so good.
Number 2, Paranorman. So good. All right. Now, my next one. I need you to think outside the box a little bit. Number 1, it's a movie you've never seen. Honestly, I'd be surprised if you even fucking heard of it.
Okay.
Everyone else will have heard of it.
Okay.
But if I feel like it's not on your radar. You have a fuzz right here. Got it. Okay.
Thank you.
My number 2 is The Dark Crystal.
1, I've heard of it. 2, I've seen it.
You've seen The Dark Crystal?
Do you want to know where I watched it?
Where?
On Uncle Eddie's waterbed.
Wow.
With Austin.
Yeah. Yeah, that room is fuzzy.
That's where I watched it. So it's been over a decade.
Yeah, for sure. At least.
Maybe 2 decades.
Yeah.
Since I've seen it, but yeah.
So
I heard you watching like the making of before.
Well, I was watching the making of the series. It's like a sequel and a series. The Age of Resistance. Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. It was interesting watching it anyway, though, because it was just like talking about how the first one was made, the original movie. And then it also brought up all this other stuff about how they decided they like tried to do CGI. They were like, should we do CGI with the new one? Because now technology is totally different. They used 100% puppetry on the first one. Before I get into it, let's go over the synopsis a little bit. So The Dark Crystal came out in 1982. Here's the plot. Jen, raised by the noble race called the Mystics, has been told that he is the last survivor of his own race, the Gelflings. He sets out to try to find a shard of the Dark Crystal, a powerful gem that once provided balance to the universe. After the crystal was broken, the evil Skeksis used sinister means to gain control. But Jen believes that he can repair the dark crystal and bring peace back to the world if he can only find the remaining shard. So, it's set in a totally different universe and different world. There's no humans. The closest thing you're going to get to humans are gelflings. They're a pretty interesting race. Only the girls grow wings and they can fly.
That tracks.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
I like that. And it's just really cool. So the first one was fully created by Jim Henson, who's like one of my idols. I love him so much. He went to the same university as me. We're alumni together. University of Maryland, College Park. He invented his own major, puppetry. He's got a statue there with Kermit and everything.
Is it still a major you can take?
I'm pretty sure, but I have no idea.
Okay.
I didn't really look that far into it because I wasn't going to take puppetry. But he was always used as an example.
Okay.
Of like, you can make your own major. Like on tours and stuff. Like when you have like prospective students.
Okay.
You'd be like, yeah, if one of our majors doesn't like fit your needs, like you can actually make your own major. That's what Jim Henson did, the creator of Sesame Street. And it was like, Jesus. But Jim Henson had mentioned that what he wanted to do with this is he wanted to make like a children's story that was a little scarier.
Okay.
Because he said the idea is that, number one, kids like being scared.
Okay.
Like they tell ghost stories. They like prank each other and scare each other and stuff like that. Like,
yes.
Kids like being scared to a certain point.
Okay.
Right? And then he also he believed that it's a good emotion for kids to work through. You know what I mean?
It is, yeah.
Like it's a healthy thing for people to get a taste of.
It's like that quote about it's like fairy tales don't teach kids that there are dragons. Fairy tales teach kids that dragons can be defeated or something like that.
Yeah. Fairy tales don't teach kids that dragons exist. Kids already know that dragons exist. Fairy tales teach kids that dragons can be killed.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
It's that vibe. But
the Dark Crystal is just incredible. Like I said, the entire thing is puppetry. It's so good and nostalgic. If you've never seen it and you like The Labyrinth,
love The Labyrinth.
It's got that vibes for days. With
Power
the
of the
exception
Babe.
of there's no humans, so it's all puppets. And it, like, I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on like your personal style or anything, but I just think Jim Henson is such a good world creator. He's like a world builder, and it did such a good job of like creating this full. It felt so, like in a metaphorical way, it felt so 3D.
Yes,
like it felt so created and
immersive.
It was like a world that immersive because it was like lived in. Like you could visit and go there and meet these characters and stuff like that. Not to mention like everything, because they talk about it in I watched the making of the new series. They have the original sketches and drawings and all this stuff from the original one to the point where like an individual plant that is just fucking in the background, there's like an entire sketch of what it should look like. Like they thought of everything. It is bananas how much goes into something like this. Just so cool. So I had to give some love to The Dark Crystal because I just feel like while it is by no means a Halloween movie in the most literal of senses, it truly encapsulates a vibe. Yeah. That I think is very big.
Very good.
I also love, like, obviously they're evil, so like I don't actually love the Skeksis, but I do find them to be a little funny sometimes, especially in the new. I watched a little bit of the new series. It's really good. I'll probably finish it eventually. I started it during quarantine, like during the beginning of COVID.
Cinema Joe said it got canceled.
I know
the world wasn't ready for it.
I wasn't ready for it. Also, it's because Netflix is corrupt and absolute garbage. Because Netflix does that all the time where they're like,
I know.
That's like, they did it with every new series that comes out on Netflix is like, don't get too attached.
I know.
Like, don't like this new show too much.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter if you like it or not, it could have the best ratings in the world. We might cancel it just because we want to.
I know.
And it makes no sense. I don't fully understand it.
It's upsetting.
It's very upsetting.
Do you know
Happens all the time? That's why as soon as they agreed to do One Piece, it was like, what? One of the longest running anime of all time.
Yeah.
And we're gonna frickin' let Netflix do the live action where they're going to, even if it's good, they could crush it, knock it out of the park. But putting it in the hands of this company, of all companies, red flags glaring. Although I will say, the writer's strike has come to an end.
Yes.
And the writers and the actors won, as far as I saw it.
But I thought the actors were still on strike. Like, the deal was only made for the writers.
I think it's a little... You know, it's a good question. I'm not 100%. I was under the impression that the whole thing had finished.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know, because I don't know. Josie, stop!
You know what? I'll do a little research. Catch me on the next episode. I'll give us an update.
Okay. Do you know the power of the babe from The Labyrinth?
Yeah.
The power of the babe.
Oh, do I know it? No. Power of the who? I know that it's like something. Hold on. Do you know it? You just know it?
I wanted us to go line for line. I know like a big portion of it.
Oh. Well, it starts...
The babe with the power.
What power?
The power of hoodoo.
No, you say voodoo.
The power of voodoo.
Hoodoo.
You do.
Do what?
The power of the babe.
No, it's remind me of the babe. You really don't know it. Oh my god.
That's what I sing it in my head.
It's, you remind me of the babe. What babe? The babe with the power.
What power?
The power of voodoo.
Hoodoo you do. Remind me of the babe. Yep. I love that song and that movie.
Oh my goodness. All right, yeah. That's my number 2, The Dark Crystal.
Very good.
Let's do it.
Okay, my number 1.
Can't wait to see.
I don't think it's going to be a surprise for anyone. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Okay.
Hocus Pocus is a fantastic Halloween movie, and I love it, but I felt like I knew you were going to pick it.
Really?
So I didn't want a repeat.
I was nervous about picking it because I thought you were going to pick it. Oh, boy.
So it's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
We like surprising each other on the episode, so we never go over our lists together. So we risk overlap, and it... Oh, man, it's nerve-wracking when you're picking. You're like, oh, Raven's definitely going to pick that. But yeah, okay.
I love every Charlie Brown holiday special so much. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown is immaculate in the Halloween vibes.
Certainly is.
It's so funny. Everyone is in their little Halloween costumes. I think I don't know if they're all ghosts, but some of them are ghosts. I think they're all ghosts. Yeah. And for some reason, Charlie Brown's ghost sheet has like 20,000 holes. Like, he didn't just cut the eyes. It's like 20,000 holes. And I love when they're all trick-or-treating and they're like, I got a chocolate bar. I got a lollipop. I got a rock. And Charlie Brown just gets a rock at every single house. And it's so funny. And I love that Linus, I think, just waits with Sally in the pumpkin patch for the Great Pumpkin. Mm-hmm. And it's so cute. Oh my god, I just love the vibes.
I got a rock. That's
I got a rock.
Funny.
It's
came out in 1966.
Yeah.
Wow, our mom wasn't even born yet.
I know.
It's wild.
It is wild. Some notes on IMDb. After the special originally aired, children all over the country sent candy to Charlie Brown out of sympathy.
Oh,
how sweet is that?
Cute.
I love that so much. This is the first time that this little bit of the special was ever animated. Where Charlie Brown goes to kick the football and Lucy pulls it.
It's the first time?
Yeah.
Wow.
In this special. That's the first time it was ever animated.
Wow.
Lucy's signature move. Also, in this fact, it says Lucy's signature move, pulling the football away from Chuck.
Chuck. Hey, Chuck.
Which is what Peppermint Patty calls him.
Hey, Chuck, let me come over for Thanksgiving.
And I love Peppermint.
Oh my God. Really?
I don't know what that was. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I booby trapped you. I put a string of metal objects just under the desk so that when you hit them, it makes loud clang noises. Sorry, listeners.
I love that Peppermint Patty calls him Chuck, and I love that Marcy calls Peppermint Patty Sir, because Peppermint Patty is so aggressive and just like tells everybody how it's going to be.
It's early lesbian representation.
Yes, it honestly is.
Yeah, and everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
It's so good. And then this I thought was interesting. In the special, Schroeder plays 4 songs for Snoopy from World War One.
Wow.
And they are It's a Long Way to Tipperary.
Sure is.
There's a Long, Long Trail.
Wow.
Pack Up Your Troubles in Your Old Kit Bag.
Okay.
And Roses of Picardy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are World War One songs?
Those are World War One songs.
I wonder why World War One.
I have no idea.
I feel like World War One never gets any love.
World War One does not get any love. It's because people barely know about it. It's just
World War
II Central.
It's because everyone is obsessed with World War Two.
Yeah. This fact says, when writing a letter to the Great Pumpkin, Linus states, "You must get discouraged because more people believe in Santa Claus than in you. Well, let's face it, Santa Claus has had more publicity, but being number 2, perhaps you should try harder." This is a reference to an advertising slogan for Avis Rent-A-Car that was well known in the 60s.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
When this is my last one, I swear.
Okay.
When Linus walks into the living room after writing a letter to the Great Pumpkin, Lucy is sitting in front of the TV reading a TV guide. The picture on the cover of the TV guide is a picture of Lucy.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's just so good.
I love meta stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I love it. I love Charlie Brown so much. It's just every special is good. When we, mark my words, when we talk about Christmas movies, I will be talking about Charlie Brown Christmas. And in November, I will be talking about the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special and the one where they're pilgrims.
And if you're watching at home on YouTube or TikTok or something like that, or there's a flock of birds outside that are cawing so loud.
They're sabotaging us.
It's really distracting. Or if you're listening to our podcast, a couple of things. Number 1, make sure that you subscribe to all of our stuff. Okay? Go do that. Hessy and Maven. Sometimes it's one word, sometimes it's all 3. And give us 5 stars, subscribe, like all the stuff, engage with the stuff that helps the algorithm send it out, whatever. But also, I want you to write this down right this moment. Write down, Raven loves it when she calls him Chuck, and she loves it when the girl calls Peppermint Patty Sir. Because every time Charlie Brown gets brought up, Raven will bring up those 2 things.
Yep. You can expect it in November and in December.
Without fail, she will bring that up as if we've never heard that before. And she's like, by the way, I love it that she calls him Chuck. Mm-hmm. It's so funny. Okay. That's a great number 1. I'm very happy that it made your list. It's very, very good. Okay. Now, you mentioned that there's that one scene where Lucy is reading a thing and Lucy's picture is also on the magazine that she's reading.
A TV guide.
TV guide. Why are you mad at me? Why are you yelling? And how that, I think that's, that's kind of meta.
Yep.
Right? My number 1 has a little bit of meta stuff also.
Okay.
This is made by a particular studio that loves the meta, loves to add in things from their other projects into their current projects. A little illusion, if you will. Illusion with an A.
Yes.
Some throwbacks, some callbacks, and stuff like that. Because this is a Pixar movie. My number one is Coco.
You love Coco?
Love Coco. I love this movie so much. Not even close. Let's get into it. Were you trying to do the yell?
Yeah. No. That's what I said.
That is Raven. Okay, never mind. 2017, Coco came out. Despite his family's baffling generations-old ban on music, Miguel dreams of becoming an accomplished musician like his idol, Ernesto de la Cruz. Desperate to prove his talent, Miguel finds himself in the stunning and colorful land of the dead, following a mysterious chain of events. Along the way, he meets charming trickster Hector, and together they set off on an extraordinary journey to unlock the real story behind Miguel's family history.
We saw this movie in the theaters.
We sure did see it in the theaters.
And we both cried.
We both cried. I cried at multiple points.
Yeah, I did too.
Every time that I cried, I turned over, you were already crying. Yeah. I was like, okay, good.
Yeah, okay, you can always count on me to cry.
Same. I'm
remotely happy or sad, I'm crying. It was so good.
Yeah, I get fully enveloped, especially a movie like Coco. They do such a good job. Pixar does such a good job when they want to.
Coco was a movie that had a good twist that I was not expecting.
There's a couple twists.
Yeah.
There's a couple twists in Coco, but it's very good. It's very fun.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really enjoyed it. I love the music.
Mm-hmm.
As a very white person, I have a lot of love. Like from a distance. It's not something I can personally have any like identity with or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I love like Mexican culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I love learning about it. I love the food,
mm-hmm.
the music. I want to go to Mexico. It's
mm-hmm.
like on my list. Anyway, the movie takes place on Dia de los Muertos.
Mm-hmm.
So the Day of the Dead. It's the same day as Halloween pretty
mm-hmm.
much, right? Like All Hallows Eve, Halloween, whatever you want to call it. It's supposedly supposed to be that day when the veil between the living and the dead is the thinnest, right? Mm-hmm. Dia de los Muertos. So the idea is, in this culture, they will have these like altars, if you want to call it that. They call it an ofrenda. And it's like an altar, and you put photographs of family members who have passed away, friends and family and stuff, like loved ones and stuff like that. And you can give them like offerings. Like you might leave like an unsmoked cigar or like a piece of food or a plant or something that they really enjoy in their life. And the idea is that on this day, they can come and enjoy those things with you, and you get to sort of like spend time with past people who have passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very cute. I love that in and of itself. And then, unfortunately for Miguel, he accidentally crosses that threshold and becomes, I don't know how else to, becomes, maybe isn't the right word. He enters the land of the dead. So now
mm-hmm.
he's on the wrong side of the veil because he's not dead. He's still living. Excuse me, have you seen a living boy?
Yeah. mm-hmm.
And it just has this whole journey. It's, the whole movie is about music, so music comes up a ton.
Mm-hmm.
The land of the dead when you're, the land of the dead when you see it for the first time, and like Miguel's crossing that bridge
mm-hmm.
with the orange flowers, which by the way, I found out the orange flower seen throughout the film is the Aztec marigold, known also as the Mexican marigold, or the. I can't tell if that... It starts with a C, but I can't tell if it's a K sound or a S sound. I normally would say make an S sound out of it. You can never tell phonetically.
What's the word?
It's the other word for this fucking marigold. I'm just trying to say it the right way. But we'll just say cempasúchil.
Oh.
But I can't tell if that's Kempa.
Okay.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the flower is used in the tradition of Dia de los Muertos in Mexico to guide the deceased to the living. So there's a lot of references. They did a lot of research on this film, and it really shows.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of really cool parts about it. actually so these are just some fun facts that I found out about Coco because I love it so freaking much. Miguel, the character of Miguel, was originally only going to play guitar. He wasn't supposed to sing. And then when they cast Anthony Gonzalez, who was a talented singer, they were like, actually, never mind. And thank God, because imagine how much less, no offense to people who only play like an instrument as opposed to vocally. I'm not saying that like a piano thing or a guitar thing can't be emotional and moving. It certainly can, but I think it hits so much harder that final scene when he's singing to Grandma Coco.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What's Come that on. Song? Where should I put my shoes? Mi amor. She said, put them on your head. So good. Yes, un poco loco, un poquitito loco. The way you keep me guessing, I'm nodding and I'm yesing.
Count it as a blessing. Anyway,
so
couple of other things. So they went to Mexico a couple of times to like visit different families and get vibes of different kinds of things and stuff like that. And while they were there, the director, Lee Unkrich, he was visiting a Oaxacan family in Mexico. And that's where he was like really paying attention to the ofrenda and everything. It was around the Dia de los Muertos actual time period when they were there. And he thought it was really funny. There was just this interesting, funny thing that happened in that specific house where that family had a basset hound and the basset hound kept trying to eat food off the ofrenda. And the family was like, stop it, that's for Grandpa.
Oh my God.
And so that's why there's a scene where Dante eats food off the ofrenda and the family gets annoyed.
Yeah. Cute.
I thought that was really funny. I also thought it was really interesting. So you know how sometimes a movie will come out, but then like China will ban it because China is like so strict about like no offense to China, but like the dumbest fucking things. This film contains a bunch of things that normally would be banned in China, but reportedly, who knows if this is true or not, don't hold me to this, reportedly the Chinese censor board members were so touched by the film that they made an exception and allowed it. And that makes me really happy. I think that's really cute. Imagining a bunch of people being like, we normally don't do skeletons, but
yeah,
God, Coco.
Yeah. Cute.
Remember me. Even when I'm gone, remember me.
Cute.
I also thought it was interesting. So they obviously did, just like every other freaking movie, they do it in a bunch of different languages and stuff like that. You would think that when they transition from like the English version to the Spanish version, that like most of the cast who are Latino, or Latina or Latinx or Latina or however you identify, most of them could transition over, but only one did. Only one plays their same role in both the English and the Spanish versions. Out of super main characters, do you want to take a stab? Who you think it is?
Is it the evil guy?
Ernesto de la Cruz, no. It is Hector.
Ah.
Isn't that interesting?
Very good.
And another interesting little thing. The guy who plays Ernesto de la Cruz is the actor Benjamin Bratt. Yeah, Benjamin Bratt. He plays the fucking... Shut up. We just had a small technical glitch. We're working through it. He plays
I think he's on the George Lopez show.
Possibly.
He's somebody.
He also plays the sort of like love interest in Miss Congeniality. But anyway... It's such a good movie, guys. I cannot recommend it enough. The music is fun. The colors and like vibrancy and like the whole thing is just so beautifully made. I just feel like it may, in my opinion, just my opinion, it may be the best Pixar movie ever made. I would say that. Me personally. I know other people who are like, Cars 2, man. And I'm like, I guess you have to like Cars. I've seen the first Cars. It was fun. Never will I see it again.
It's not Cars. Cars is not the best.
No, I don't think so. But anyway.
But Coco is good to put on during Halloween time.
It's so good. It takes place
Mm-hmm.
on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
It's all Halloween. The whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just happens to not be like American Halloween. It's
Mm-hmm.
Mexican Dia de los Muertos,
Mm-hmm.
but still. And I love that it features a lot of like, I always refer to it as Spanglish when someone just switches between the two. I know Spanglish for some people is like when they combine words,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes in my head I think of Spanglish as just like speaking Spanish and then speaking English and then speaking Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
But they do that a lot in this movie. There's a lot of, obviously, the majority of the movie's in English, but
Yeah.
every once in a while, a character will drop in some Spanish. And while I can't speak fluently, I'm really good at Spanish. For somebody who hasn't taken it since college, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a ton of people to practice with,
Mm-hmm.
but I loved being able to be like, oh, I know what that means. There you go.
Yeah.
Or like when you see a lot of the older characters, like his grandma, throw her chancla
Mm-hmm.
at a kid. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, now I personally have never experienced that, but I've heard through the grapevine that that's a thing.
Yeah.
Not just in Mexican culture. I've heard that's a thing in a lot of different like Middle Eastern cultures. And like, that's just like a big thing with, non-whites,
Yeah.
specifically of the throwing of shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
slippers and stuff like
Yeah.
that is it's so interesting that I remember my friend Ahmad, who I worked with at the fancy gym. He's from Pakistan, and his dad, he used to talk about how his dad used to throw a shoe at him or something like that. Or, like, hit him with a slipper.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. The
Very
music
good.
is great. The movie's about music, so it's one of those things where it fits into the movie a lot. So like a lot of the times that they're singing a song, it like really makes sense. Whereas like there are some, even in a Disney movie, sometimes they break into a song and you're like, is this really the right time?
Yeah.
But usually it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so good. It, in my opinion, might be the best Pixar movie of all time. I love
You heard it here
so
first,
much.
folks.
Yeah, it has the Hessy Maven approval of stamp. And
Very good.
very good.
Very good.
Is there anything else you want to add about our Halloween month or anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, gang, thank you so much for listening to Hessy and Maven this week. So we have, like I said in the beginning, this whole month is Halloween. We're doing Code Orange, and we're doing it hard, and we're doing it fast. What that means is all of these episodes are going to be about Halloween stuff. So this time is our top 3 Halloween movies. Next week, we're going to be talking about scary movies and our experiences and relationships with scary movies. Because it didn't feel right to do a whole month, 5 episodes about Halloween and stuff like that, and not at least talk about scary movies.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. We don't like scary movies. I don't enjoy being scared. It's not my thing. I don't like spooky horror movies. But they deserve their time in the light.
Their accolades.
They deserve their accolades. So we're going to talk about them as much as we can. And that will be next episode. So send us in some comments, some messages, some emails. HessyandMaven@gmail.com. Let us know about your favorite scary movies. Let us know if do you like scary movies? Do you hate scary movies? Why do you like them? Why do you not like them? Why do you like being scared? Please tell me. I want somebody to try and reach out to me and convince me that seeing a scary movie and being terrified and having nightmares is worth it.
Yeah.
Please explain it to me, because I don't understand it.
Yes.
That's going to be next week's episode. After that, we're talking about television that...
Halloween specials.
Like Halloween specials for television. So like episodes from a series that was specifically Halloween themed. We're also talking about some movies that we're going to make each other watch. We haven't decided which. I know what I'm going to make you watch, but
I think I know.
Finally, we're going to wrap up the entire month with Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Yes.
The whole episode is just Wallace and Gromit. So thanks so much for tuning into this week's episode of Hessy and Maven. But please tune in next time where we're going to talk about something else.
Bye. Bye.